Step right around.
Seriously?
Step right around. You don't have anything on you that will poke me, stick me, or stab me, do you?
Maybe a penis.
Okay. I would prefer not to get poked, sticked, or stabbed by that.
Bitch, you will not believe what I did to my stepdad.
Hey. What's up? What you gonna do?
Shit, I was sucking dick with fuck for some money.
What?
What you think I'm out here doing, baby?
I don't know.
Excuse me, do you know the bitches are? The bitches.
This bitch.
Where's the
You can
bitches?
go beaches, you can go this way and both sides of the beach. You can go this is a lot of people and then this is quiet place beach.
For the bitches?
Yeah, beaches, both sides.
Okay.
Which beach do you looking for?
Black bitch.
I don't know, but where it's close to the Parkside Drive.
Okay. Alright, so where's the white bitches?
White beach, I don't know.
Okay.
But this way is a lot of people.
Yes.
This way it's a very quiet, small beach.
Small bitches.
Yeah, this is the bigger.
Bigger.
Ah, yes. As an artist, I already know this is a Jackson Pollock original. Jackson Pollock original titled Sugar and Spice and the Taco Bell special number 4. So, without further ado, let's open the bidding at 1.5 million. 1.5 million? 1.7 million? 2.8 million. Fuck it. 5.5 million. So, Jackson Pollock original titled Sugar and Spice and the Taco Bell special number 4. Okay. Hashtag the Kevinonasa Season 3, Episode 2. Normally I don't do it like this, but I'll improv a joke. But these are jokes that I've written down. I just didn't have time to work them all through. But, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I can always do... Let's see. We're going to pull a joke out of the joke jar, by the way. So, yeah, I can do this one. This is, I mean, it's funny. But anyways, and with them supposedly cutting food stamps next month, it might work into it. But we'll see. I don't think they're going to cut them. But, I mean, Lord help you if they do. But if they don't, it works. But hey, you get what I mean. So, when I was growing up, my grandma used to always say there were 3 kinds of poor. There's ravioli poor, there's Chef Boyardee poor, and there's ragu poor. I don't know where she got these from, but that was just the 3 definitions of being poor that she installed in my mind. So, I mean, as I said before, I'm not making fun of people that have to eat ravioli for dinner. I'm not making fun of people that have to eat Chef Boyardee for dinner. I'm not making fun of people that have to eat ragu for dinner. Because, I mean, some of this stuff actually sounds good right about right now. Dude, I just smoked a whole bunch of shit. And, I mean, I'm looking at it. I got munchies like you would not believe. But anyways, don't know where I was going with this joke. But I remember I went over to this one girl's house. And I'm not making fun of her, but I could kind of tell. It's like, you ever pull up, well, you ever call a girl and be like, yeah, you want me to come over? And she's like, yeah, you can swing on through. And, like, you pull up in the driveway, and, like, the first thing you see in the driveway, if she has a driveway, you're not parking on the street. But anyways, if you pull up in the driveway and you're walking up the walkway and you see, like, a dirty diaper, like, you know, on the walkway, you're like, yeah, she's got kids. But either way, it's not a bad thing, but it's just one of those things like, why am I looking at a dirty diaper and why is it here? Anyways, so, you know, everything went real nice. She put in house party, so that's what we were watching. At the time, I guess everybody had a copy of that at their house or something, whether it be bootleg, whether it be, you know, a Blockbuster VHS tape that they didn't return or something like that. Anyways, so we're watching House Party, and she's like, "You want a snack?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like a snack," you know. And she brings me in the kitchen. She brings me. I almost caught me. She brings me in the kitchen, and you know, I open up her pantry, and I see all this food that's in like yellow bags and yellow labels. Even the cans was in yellow labels and everything like that. And it just said what was inside the can or in the bag in black letters on the, you know, label. And I was like, "This is kind of odd." I'm like, "What brand is this?" And she said, "Oh, that's food." That's like, "Yeah, but who's it made by?" She said, "I don't know. It's just called food." And I was like, what? I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have ever grown up like this, or I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying everybody lives how they need to. And I don't know how many of you guys have ever been over a female's house, or how many females have been over a guy's house, and this is what they had, like in their pantry or in the refrigerator or wherever they store their food. But I just noticed she had like 14 cans that had like yellow labels. I mean, I didn't know who it was made by, but it just said the name of whatever was inside the can or whatever was inside the bag. I mean, at first I thought it was kind of cool because I thought it was like color coordinated, but I was like, I don't think that's color coordinated. I can't even talk. I've been drinking, so just bear with me. But I don't think it's color coordinated. But all the bags of food, just, I mean, it just, you know, it's a. And at that time, that was the first time I ever knew cereal came in a bag. I was like, you know, and it was a yellow bag. I knew it had cereal in it because I could see the top of it, but it just said cereal in black letters on like the outside of the bag. And I was like, "Y'all in the army or some shit?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" But anyways, that was just a small introduction joke. But where I was going with this was, say, I could do that joke. But either or, it's a lot more to that joke. But I just don't feel comfortable putting people's information out like that. I mean, people change. I don't know what in the world she does now, and I'm pretty sure that baby, or the diaper that belonged to the baby's dad, of whoever that baby was, I'm not having no fucking problems like that. Anyways, but thinking back in retrospect, because I'm always trying to make the most of my time here on, you know, in this body, in the earth, or however you want to classify that. I can't say that I remember the time when I did bring one chick home, and I mean, I was shocked that she actually said, you know, I was like, you know, I walked on over to her. This was back at the Golden Nugget when they used to be called, I forget, there was a club on the top of the Golden Nugget or something like that. I guess it was called Gold Diggers or something like that. And she's like, "Yeah, I'll come home with you." I was shocked as fuck. I was like, "Really?" I was like, "You want to cover this magazine and you want to come home with this?" Yeah, I'll show y'all the picture. Anyways, maybe you had to see what I was wearing, because I was like, you know, about 10 years younger, and probably I was at probably about 165, 150, something like that. You know, my abs, you could still see my abs and everything like that. But anyways, so I bring her back to my apartment on 13th Street. You know, I got the crib all decked out. I had latex sheets at the time. You know, I don't know how many fellas, you know, would have a bachelor crib with latex sheets. Dude, I had my shit stacked out. And the minute she walks in the doorway, I got the runway lights, you know, leading to the bed. It's like when you open the door up, it's like it's got the runway lights, and it's got all my paintings and shit like on the wall as you walk into the hallway, which the hallway leads right straight to the bed. So whoever designed this apartment was a motherfucking genius. It was like, this apartment for a dude. For a single dude at that. Anyways, so in the middle of the night, you know, after we get finished and everything like that, I kind of lean over to myself and I'm saying, "Damn, did she fart or something like that?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, she might be a supermodel or something like that," but I'm like, "Yeah, they probably fart just like everybody else and stuff." And I thought she had farted, to be honest with you. And I was like, "Yeah, you guys did drink a lot of liquor, but the aroma wasn't going nowhere." I mean, it was like, you ever had like a pungent, stagnant aroma that just kind of like, it like circles around your head and stuff like that, and you kind of like, "Damn, this one ain't going nowhere. I need to spray some air freshener or something like that." And I'm sitting there Because, you know, I got the satin sheets on the bed and stuff like that. It was like, you know, the red cranberry satin. I don't know how you fellas, like, you know, like was on that back, like, you know, in the I want to say the late 2000s, after 2010. But I had the cranberry satin sheets on the bed and the latex, you know, fitted sheet and everything like that. I kind of glanced over and I kind of looked at that and I was like, you know, looking at like her, because she, like, you know, she put her panties on back up. She was a lady. I thought she was a lady. Well, no, she was a lady in that aspect. Yes, all the anatomical parts, she was a lady. Okay, but I thought she was a lady. But the thing was, she put her panties back on, you know, after we were done and everything like that. And I'm sitting there glancing over, and you guys remember the Alpo commercials when, like, you know, the chuck wagon would come out and the dog would bust his ass and break a hip trying to fucking catch up to that motherfucker and be like, oh, the chuck wagon's here. You know, it's like us when we heard the ice cream truck, when we would stop what we was doing and fucking, you know, break out and just run towards it, magnetized. Sometimes the ice cream man had ice cream, other times he had weed, or other times he had other shit. Other times if you had that bad, you know, I'm not going to say what denomination ice cream. He'd be like, Stia, step in the back right here. I got all the ice cream you need. And I'd be like, oh, whoa, watch out for this motherfucker. It's like, Grandma, this motherfucker out here again. But anyways, so I, you know, looked at the back of her panties, and it looked like a can of dog food, and shoved it down the back of her panties, and it looked like it was like caked in there. You know, it was like somebody said, it just like, I don't know if you guys have ever caked hamburger, but it kind of looked like somebody had taken a can of dog food and shoved it down the back of her panties. And I was like, wait, did this bitch just shit herself? I'm like, wait, did she just shit herself in my bed? And I'm like, damn, you look, I mean, it's one of them psychological things that they put you through. It's like, shit, you look fine and everything, but damn, I'm like, you ain't potty trained. I'm like, there's a bathroom right over there. I'm like, and you think about everything that you went through and the time that she made your eyes roll back in your head. And you be like, dude, I haven't even stuck it in yet, and my eyes are already rolling in the back of my head. And she's like, I got something else for you. And then all that replays through your mind, but at the same point in time, when you wake up, you're like, what's that smell? And when you look, you know, in the panties, and you see this big caked up beef, it was like somebody had taken a meatloaf, and not like a little slice of meatloaf, like somebody had taken the whole entire meatloaf out the bunt pan and tried to make it fit in the back of her panties, you know? You're like, damn, this bitch just, I mean, it wasn't like no little small accident that she had in the back of her panties. It was like, shit, I'm trying to think, like the correct word or something like that. I mean, I'll put it like this. You ever see sloppy joes on a bun? Okay, now imagine her thighs is the bun, and imagine the sloppy joes is in the middle, and you kind of like, damn. And it kind of threw me for a loop. And so, you know, I tapped her on the shoulder. I was like, bae. And I don't even know how many of you guys have actually ever told your significant other or a female that you have brought home for the evening, or a woman that, you know, you was trying to think about marrying until she did some shit like this. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have like ever tapped her on the shoulder like, bae, wake up. And she'd be like, huh? It's like, oh, what's up, honey? You'd be like, bae, wake up. You shit yourself. And she's like, oh yeah, I couldn't make it to the bathroom, so I'll clean it up when I get up. But when you get up, it's like, oh, you about to get up right now. Like, dude, I got latex sheets. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But, as I said before, I don't know how many of my viewers have ever had an experience like that, where you bring home a supermodel, and yeah, she does some fucking ungodly stuff to make you feel like you know, as like you sit there and be like, damn, I never knew my body could feel this good. I mean, that's the level that I'm talking about. And then she switch it up on you and do some other stuff. You'd be like, oh shit, damn, what the what the fuck is that all about? It's like, what type of daddy issues do you have? But the best comparison I could ever best comparison I could probably come up with is if you ever seen the Electric Company, you know how he's got that stack of 11 sloppy joes on that one tray, and he's like 11 sloppy joes on a tray, and the motherfucker trip and spill that shit all up in your bed, and you like, god damn, niggas like, oh, that's motherfucking latex, and I got red cranberry satin sheets, and the pillows is plush. I could break it down and itemize how much each thing costs. I said the fucking latex fitted sheets is like 120 in it on its own, you know. But sometimes I get emotional when I have like memory flashbacks and shit. But I don't know how many of my viewers have ever had an experience like that. But I'm just sharing mine with you. Do you think I overreacted, or do you think that if you having sex with a supermodel and her just nonchalantly shitting in your bed and telling you that, oh, don't worry about it, babe, I'll clean it when I wake up? Is that me? Or is that just the situation? Or did I act accordingly? I don't know. Enjoy. Oh, hashtag the Kevinonasa, Season 3, Episode 2. Enjoy.
You've been running all day. I see it, baby. Let me bless your night. You clocked out, city still moving. Feet tied, but your vibe still grooving. Work hard, they don't see your grace, but I see it in the light on your face. You like, say you're annoying tonight. I know that kinda quiet ain't right. Let the beat do the talking, love, and I'll show you what peace feels like. Don't know where you've been, but I see the where. Don't know what you see, but I feel the air. Something in me saying true. You deserve more than just a few. Let me get one more for the lady, yeah. One more for the mood she in lately, one more just to make it feel right. One more for the long, long night. Let me get one more for the lady. Whatever she want, don't play me. Let me get one more for the lady. She earned every drop, so maybe. You been holding weight that don't belong. Sipping.
Okay. Proud supporter as always. I'm only gonna tell this joke once because it always gets me in trouble. So enjoy. So I'm in a strip club and I walk over to the young lady and I say, "Hey, do you do the thing with the ice?" And she's like, "Thing with the ice?" She had to stop and think, and she's like, "Yeah, $50." So I walk over to her and I give her my glass. Give her my glass of Moscato, that is. And she's like, "The thing with the ice, right?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Just spit the ice back out in my drink." And she kind of looks at me, so she dips her fingers into my glass and she pulls the ice out. She proceeds to put it in her mouth. And I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? I said, "Use your other pair of lips." And she just kind of looks at me kind of like puzzled. And I'm like, my Moscato's like $45. Of course I want some twang to it. Fucking go figure. Am I being wrong? I don't think I'm being wrong, but either or. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of messed up because the one girl I was talking to, she kind of like not shot me down, but at the same point in time, she kind of was like, "I have a boyfriend." So I turned around and like at that time I had the Dodge Neon, and everybody knows the back of the Dodge Neon had the ground effects inside the car with the leopard skin interior on the back seat of the car with a plush little pillow. You know, and it had the powder puff girls in the rearview mirror and everything like that. But anyways, so she kind of turned me down and she's like, "I got a boyfriend." So I fucking drove the car down Lyle Avenue and picked up a prostitute that looked just like her and turned around and was banging the crap out of her. And she was like, "Well, I got to use some spermicide." And when she put the spermicide in, it kind of smelled like pesticide. And I was like, what type of spermicide smells like pesticide? But anyways, when she got the spermicide on the backseat of my leopard skin interior, it like bleached it. And I was like, is that really spermicide? I'm like, because it smells like something that you would put on your lawn to kill grubs. So I don't know if that was just me or if there really is like spermicide out there that smells like that. But I'm pretty sure it's like if you bought it in at CVS or like in a pharmacy, it probably has the extra strength on the bottom of it. but that's just me. But it really smelled like it was something strong enough that you could probably like put on your lawn to like, you know, kill all types of pests and stuff like that. I don't really think a sperm is pests, but I mean, if you're a female, you probably might think of it that way. But I don't know. That's just me. So, as I remember, it's Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Everybody's seen it. I mean, it's like one of those movies you watch in elementary school growing up. Everybody's seen it. But the thing was, I was sitting there trying to explain to people who haven't seen it. I don't know. It's like not seeing Jaws or Star Wars. I don't know. I mean, or not seeing Rocky. But anyways, so I was explaining to them. I said, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas is like where this otter, he, whatchamacallit, has a toolbox. He's got a friend named Sancho. I think he's got a friend named Sancho. And they go around town doing, like, odd jobs and shit for people. But anyways, so it's made by Jim Henson. So, you know, Big Bird's in it, Oscar the Grouch is in it, and, like, all the Muppets are in it. So, and the thing is, it gives you the backstory behind, like, you know, the people from Sesame Street. And the thing was, I didn't know that Oscar the Grouch was on crack. That's why he lives in the trash can. I didn't know that until I saw this. And I was like, ooh, he looks like a crackhead. I said, yep, he's on them drugs. But either or, and they were talking about Big Bird's homeless. And he lives behind the projects, that building that everybody lives in. That's a projects, yeah. It's a brownstone, but it's still a projects. He lives back behind that. And Big Bird, I guess they don't, like, you know, the government probably cut funding for his medication or something, so they let him wander the streets and shit like that. Because he's got an imaginary friend named Snuffleupagus. But nobody can see him other than Big Bird. So that's when I was like, oh, he's one of them people that they just let run around because they don't have medication for him and they can't put him in a hospital. But anyways, so Emmett Otter, you know, kind of teams up with Big Bird and, you know, he talks to Oscar the Grouch, you know, who's like the neighborhood crackhead. And all of a sudden, if I remember correctly, Big Bird got his ass, or he got tired of getting his ass beat by everybody in the neighborhood, so he got a gun. And he teams up with Emmett Otter to, like, rob the grocery store. I forget what the old guy's name, you know, that, like, ran the grocery store. Notice how after he passed away, some other people in the grocery store, which I'm not going to mention, but either or. So they get this idea to rob the, whatchamacallit's grocery store. And, I guess when they were robbing it, I wouldn't give a gun to Big Bird because, you know, he's kind of, he sees imaginary things. I'd never give a gun to anybody like that. But anyways, Big Bird ends up shooting the dude, if I remember correctly. And I guess Big Bird kind of goes, like, mad with power because he saw Ernie and Bert walking down the street. And I think it was, I couldn't remember if it was Ernie or if it was Bert, but I think it was Bert that said it. No, I think it was Ernie that said it. And Ernie was like, I feel sorry for your mother. And, you know, fucking Big Bird started to snap because he had that look in his eyes and shit like that, you know. And he turns over to Snuffleupagus, which only he can see. And Snuffleupagus is like, yo, man, do this, fool. I got your back. And Big Bird, like, shot the dude. You know, he shot fucking Ernie. And Ernie, like, was fucking died in the street. And Bert's leaning over him. And that's how I found out what Ernie's real name was. It was Ricky. Which I didn't even know that shit. I was like, I said, why'd they call him Ernie for? And Bert's like, he goes, Ricky! Ricky! And he says it like that, you know, and he's leaning over Bert's like dying, or Ernie's dying in the street, and I guess Bert leans over to Emmett Otter, and he asks Emmett Otter if he wants to live or if he wants to die, and Emmett Otter's kind of like, I don't know, but I think that's the story. I haven't seen it since I was in elementary school. But I think that's Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I can't remember what it has to do with Christmas. I think, like, Emmett Otter's mom had to, like, you know, sell her, like, beaver to get, like, a dress or something like that to perform in the, like, talent show or something. But either or, yeah, I've been drinking. So, without further ado, cheers. And welcome to hashtag the Kevinonasas, the Christian Brothers special. Enjoy. Hashtag the Kevinonasa. Welcome to this episode of Christian Brothers Reading Room. So, I walked into the strip club, lit as fuck, and I'm like, I got my 20s ready, because I'm ready to fucking see a show. So, I kind of, like, glance over, and I'm like, wait, is she a stripper or the bionic woman? Anyways, and she's like stepping on the stage. It kind of looks like RoboCop getting out of his car, And I'll give her credit. She had the right music. They were playing Dre's "Let Me Ride," and just when the part when Snoop says "I be rolling in my 6'4", it switches like that, and the whole entire thing. She did this thing with her booty. It was kind of like twerking, but she wasn't rolling in the 6'4", but her legs looked like she had the hydraulics of a 6'4". So, as I said before, never judge a book by its cover, because I was like 20 for the song and 20 for you, because as I said before, sometimes you see some really amazing shit in strip clubs. So don't, judge a book by its cover, because sometimes you can learn things. Cheers.
Count in Chinese. 贱逼,贱逼,贱逼. Now let's break down how to pronounce each character. The first character is 贱. It has the first tone made up of the initial G and the middle final E and final, and put them together. Pronounced G-E-N, 贱, G-E-N, 贱, G-E-N, 贱. The second character is B. It has the first tone made up of the initial B and E. Put them together. Pronounced B-E, B, B-E, B, B-E, B. Huge reminder, this phrase is very rude and aggressive. Do not use it in real competition. I'm showing it here purely as an example for teaching PE letters. Got it? Tell me in the comments what do you want to learn next video.
It's all like that, bitches. In the whole motherfucking world.
Tú sabes, we don't gotta say it. Shh, just feel it, baby. Yeah, I'm a mess, corazón on the air, tryna play cool, but I'm tangled in your web every time you touch me. I lose my defense, acting like I'm fine, but I'm feeling that tense. No quiero hacerte esperar, but I'm the way I need, that's who I am. I'm more, maybe I ain't the one you plan for, but don't you dare bring someone to your door. Oh no, you know this love gets complicated, but the way we vibe intoxicating. It's crazy, I can have what I want. No, and neither can you. You don't want me seeing nobody else, no, no. And I don't want you seeing nobody. You don't want me touching nobody else, nobody, baby. We ain't gotta tell nobody. Shh. Even though you're written out mine, baby, the way we fight feels like love in disguise on a midnight ride. Push come to show, we both wild inside. Damn, you a wreck, so am I. Lose my mind when I look at you, I'm selective.